Part C. Names of the Lord and Devotion. 22. Glory of Ram Nam. The powers of repeating Lord's name are marvelous. How sweet is God's name! How it transforms quickly the asuric, diabolical nature into sattvic, divine nature. How it brings you face to face with the Lord and makes you realize your oneness with Him, supreme love. The Lord's name chanted correctly or incorrectly is sure to give the desired result. The glory of the name of God cannot be established through reasoning and intellect. It can certainly be experienced or realized only through devotion, faith, and constant repetition of the name. Every name is filled with countless potencies or Shakti. It exalts a man to the status of divinity. It destroys old sins, vasanas, sankalpas, whims, fancies, depressing moods, and various samskaras. It was by the glory of Ramnam that stones floated in water and the bridge over the sea, the Setu, was built by Sugriva and his comrades. It was Ramnam which cooled Prahlada when he was thrown into the fire. It was repetition of Ramnam from the opposite way as Mara, Mara, by the sage Valmiki, which brought him fame and name. There are a number of instances where Ram Nam has given life to dead bodies. Blessed indeed are those who repeat God's name, for they will be free from the wheels of birth and death and will attain immortality. The Pandavas were saved, though the Lakshagriha in which they lived was burnt because of their immense faith in the name of Hari. Hanuman was not burnt, though his tail was set on fire by the Rakshasas on account of his immense faith in Rama's name. Sita was not harmed through fire, though she had to undergo the fire trial for testing her chastity because she had Rama's name as her sole refuge. The palace of Vibhishana was not burnt in Lanka when the whole Lanka was burnt to ashes because of his immense faith in the name of Sri Rama. Such is the glory of the Lord's name. Goswami Tulsidas has left nothing unsaid about the glory of divine name. There is not the least doubt that all sacred formulae, such as the Dwadashakshara, consisting of 12 letters, and Ashtakshara, consisting of 8 letters, mantras, bring solace to those entangled in the meshes of worldly attachment. God is said to possess 1,000 names. It means his names are infinite, his glory is infinite. In the present age, even ignorant and unlettered people can take shelter under the monosyllable mantra. When pronounced, the word Rama makes a single sound, and truly speaking, there is no difference between the sacred syllable Om and the word Rama. The glory of the divine name cannot be established through reasoning and intellect. It can be experienced only through reverence and faith. Take the name of Hari every morning and evening, nay, at all times. The force of ignorance working in your heart will be driven away as soon as you utter the name of Hari with the clapping of hands. The name of God uttered consciously or unconsciously, or even by mistake, will surely bring its own reward. A person who deliberately goes to bathe in a river is in no way better than his friend who is pushed into the river by someone else, so far as ablution as such is concerned, and a third man who remains lying on his cot and on whom a bucket of water is thrown also has his body washed. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, "Blessed are the pious souls who drink uninterruptedly the nectar of Sri Rama's name, which has been churned out of the ocean of the Vedas, which removes the impurities of the iron age, which lives constantly on the tongue of Lord Shiva, which is a sovereign remedy or unfailing specific to cure the disease of worldly existence, and is life itself to Mother Janaki." Rama delivered a single lady Ahilya, whereas the name has purified crores of wicked men. Rama gave salvation to 2 of his faithful servants, Shabari and Jatayu, but the name has been the savior of countless wicked persons. Live on milk for 6 months in Chitrakuta and repeat Ramanam incessantly with one pointed mind and unshakable faith. You will get darshan of Lord Rama. liberation, siddhis, and all auspicious blessings from the Lord. The two sweet, fascinating letters, Ra and Ma, are like the two eyes of the alphabet and the very life breath of the devotees. Victory to Ramanama, which blesses us forever. Glory to Ramanama, which confers immortality, eternal peace, and infinite bliss on those who repeat it. So says Sivananda, my dear children of immortality, let us all repeat the glorious Ram Ram and get the benefits of repeating the most miraculous and powerful name. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Ram. Sat is Ram, Chit is Ram, Ananda is Ram, Shanti is Ram, Shakti is Ram, Jyoti is Ram, Prema is Ram, Mercy is Ram, Beauty is Ram, Bliss is Ram, Joy is Ram, Purity is Ram, Sarvam Ramamayam, Glory to Ram, Victory to Ram, Adoration to Ram, Salutations to Ram, Prostrations to Ram. Om Shri Ram Jaya Ram Sita Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram 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 Ram. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Urvarukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. We worship the three-eyed one Lord Shiva, who is fragrant and nourishes all beings. May he liberate me from the death for the sake of immortality, even as the cucumber is severed from its bondage of the creeper. The mantra presented here is life-giving one. It has got a curative effect against diseases and is safe insurance against accidents and other similar troubles. This mantra is also a moksha mantra. It bestows health, long life, peace and prosperity and satisfaction to everyone who will repeat this with faith. Let us pray. Om, 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 Om. O children of the Lord, wake up from this Maya, ignorance. If you want to illuminate yourself, repeat the glorious Ram Nam. The bell, the call is reminding you again and again. Life is short, time is fleeting, the body is decaying. At the last moment of your life, when death is choking you, you will not be able to utter these two glorious aksharas. You must take for yourself the name of Sri Rama in abundance. Whether you remember him in your pleasant mood or unpleasant mood, it is sure to give its good effect, just as the seeds in the fields thrown either purposely or wrongly gives good results. It is not at all wise to while away the time in arguments or in vain discussions. The well-known poet Goswami Tulsidas says, the worshipping of the name of Sri Rama never goes in vain, just as the practice of swimming in one's boyhood is of great help at some future time. Name of Rama is the supreme purifier and enlightener, dispeller of all darkness of ignorance. His name is filled with countless powers and potencies. It is more precious than the wealth of the whole world. Name fills the heart with divine prema, joy and bliss. Those who have a taste for music can sing the Rama mantra and make their minds quickly elevated and exalted. Bhava Samadhi will ensue. See, notice for yourself the most miraculous transformation that begins to take place in you. Tukaram, Jnanadev, Sakhubai, Dhruva, Prahlada, Ajamila, Ramdas and several others had direct darshan of the Lord by repeating simply the glorious name constantly. You need not do severe tapas, penance. You need not stand on one leg for several years, as people did in days of yore. You can realize God through japa, kirtan, and constant repetition of name and prayer. Children, listen to the stories of some of the great bhaktas who, with their unflinching devotion and faith, have been protected at every stage by the name of the Lord. 23. Story of Ajamila. Ajamila was the son of a Brahmana. He was dutiful, virtuous, modest, truthful, and regular in the performance of Vedic injunctions. One day, in obedience to his father, He went into the forest and there collected fruits, flowers, sacrificial wood, and kusha. On returning, he saw a Shudra in company with a slave girl. He tried much to use his patrimony to win the love of that girl. He gave up his wife and kept company with that slave girl. He had by her several sons, of whom the youngest was named Narayana. Ajamila lost all his good qualities in low company and he forgot his daily practices. To support the woman he kept, he had to do all the vicious and unlawful acts. Narayana, the youngest of his sons, was his favorite. He loved him and cared for him much. At last, Ajamila's end approached. Even then, he thought of his youngest son who was playing outside. The fierce looking messengers of Yama appeared, with ropes in hand. Terrified at the sight, Ajamila cried out, Narayana, Narayana! Instantly, the messengers of Vishnu appeared. At the time when the servants of Yama were drawing out the jiva from the heart of Ajamila, the attendants of Vishnu stopped them with a strong voice. But who are you, said they, to interfere with the just sway of Yama? The bright attendants of Vaikuntha Dhama only smiled and asked, What is dharma? Does your lord Yama hold the scepter of punishments against all who perform karma? Is there no distinction made? The astral messengers replied, The performance of Vedic injunctions is dharma, and their disregard is adharma. This Ajamila in his earlier days duly respected the Vedas, but it was only after he came in contact with the slave girl he lost his Brahmanism. He justly comes to Yama now for punishment, as now he disrespected the Vedas. The attendants of Vishnu expressed wonder at these words. And you are the servants of him who is called the king of Dharma? Don't you know that there is something above the Vedas? This Ajamila consciously or unconsciously took the name of Narayana, and that saved him from your clutches. It is the nature of fire to consume fuel, and so it is in the nature of Vishnu's name to destroy all sins. If one unconsciously takes some powerful medicine, does it not have effect? It matters not whether Ajamila meant his youngest son or not, but he took the name of Narayana, so you must retire. Wonderstruck, the servants of Yama left their hold over Ajamila. They went away and complained to their master. There must be one law and one dispenser of that law. Otherwise, some will be punished and others not. Why should there be this difference? We know thee to be the sole dispenser of the law for the wicked and vicious. But just now the attendants of Vishnu came and wrested from our hands a transgressor against Vedas. My faithful servants, replied Yama. Yes, it is true. There is someone above me, and that is Vishnu. His ways are mysterious. The whole universe is in him. Only 12 of us know his dharma, which is Bhagavata, and no one else knows. These 12 are Brahma, Shiva, Sanat Kumar, Narada, Kapila, Manu, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali, Shuka, and myself. Ajamila heard the conversation between messengers of Yama and Vishnu. He became sorely penitent. He overcame his attachments, left the house, and went to Hardwar. There he meditated on Vishnu with concentrated mind. The former attendants of Vishnu appeared before him once more and took him on a decorated chariot to Vaikuntha Loka. 24. Faith can work miracles. A disciple. A great guru who lived in a temple on the bank of a river had many disciples all over the land. Once he called all the disciples, saying he wanted to see them all before death takes him away, as he was expecting it soon. The most favorite disciples of the great guru, who always lived with him, grew anxious and always kept themselves close to him. They thought he might disclose some secret, which made him so great. Though their guru taught them many sacred mantras, they still thought their guru still kept the sacred mantra which gave powers to him, to be revealed only in the end. Disciples from every part arrived, and they all waited anxiously with great expectation. Now, a humble disciple who lived far away on the opposite side of the river also came to the river which was in high floods and was too turbulent even to allow boats to pass. However, the humble disciple must not wait, as in the meanwhile the Guru may pass away. He should not tarry. But what was to be done? He knew that the mantra which his Guru taught was all powerful and capable of anything. Such was his faith. So, chanting the mantra with faith and devotion, he walked over the river. All the disciples who saw this were surprised at his powers and recognizing him as the one who came long ago to their Guru and stayed but one day only and went away after being taught something by him. All the disciples thought that the Guru gave him away the secret. They sternly demanded of their Guru the reason why he deceived them thus, though they served him in a very humble manner for many years, and yielded the secret to a stranger who, by the way, came there for a day long ago. The Guru, with a smile, waved them to be calm, and summoning the humble disciple to his presence, ordered him to tell the disciples what he was taught by him long ago. The anxious group of disciples was taken aback with amazement when they heard him utter the name of Kudu Kudu with awe, veneration, and devotion. Look, said the Guru. In it he believed and thought that he got the clue to all, and even so is he rewarded for his faith and devotion. But you always doubted that it was not all, and that something remained unrevealed still, though I told you mantras of great powers. This distracted your concentration, and the idea of a great secret was in your mind. You are constantly thinking about the imperfection of the mantra. This unintentional and unnoticed concentration upon the imperfection made you even imperfect. 25. Stories of Guru Bhakti. Shankar went to Swami Prakashananda for initiation. He told the Swami, "O Maharaj, I have come to your holiness for initiation. I must realize the Atman quickly. I want to become your most devoted disciple also. What should I do now to realize myself soon and to become your most devoted disciple?" "Certainly I will obey thy commands. Kindly guide me. Kindly protect me." The Swami then said, "O Shankar, I am so much pleased with you as you wish to realize the truth quickly. I shall certainly guide you. Thou art very dear to me, as you seem to be a first-class type of aspirant. Give me your body, mind, and soul. That is all. You can become my devoted disciple." Shankar replied, "Is that all? From this moment I have given to thee my body, mind, and soul. Kindly initiate me." Swamiji gave him mantra and spiritual instructions. Shankar was doing japa on the Guru's instructions. One day, Swami Maharaj wanted some mangoes for his use. He could not get them in the market. He came to know that his disciple had plenty of mangoes fruits in his Purvashram garden. He sent his disciple to bring some from Shankar. Shankar sent word through his Guru Bhai, "O Guru Bhai, tell my Guru that my body, soul, and mind have already been given to him. What more does he want? I cannot give mangoes now. They are meant for the sole use of myself, my wife, and children." Look at the behavior of this most devoted disciple Shankar. Such disciples are in abundance in these days. They talk a lot. They write a lot. They say, "We have given up our lives and everything else at the lotus feet of our Guru. He is our revered Guru, Father, Preceptor, and God." When they are put to slightest test, their devotion will evaporate like spirit. 26. The story of three skulls. Once a Rakshasa appeared in the darbar of Raja Vikramaditya with three skulls and told him that he would kill all the pandits in his court if they were not able to select the best skull amongst the three within a week. Vikramaditya agreed to the proposal and at once called all his pandits and gave them the message of the Rakshasa. All the pandits trembled with fright when they heard the message of the Rakshasa. But fortunately, there was one intelligent pandit, Rajaram Shastri by name. He gave solid encouragement to all pandits and told the Raja that he would select the best skull for the Rakshasa without any difficulty. After 7 days, the Rakshasa again went to the Raja's palace. Pandit Rajaram Shastri entered the platform and said, The skull in which this iron rod would enter from one ear to the other is the worst one. It is not worth even a farthing. That skull in which the iron rod would pass from one ear towards the mouth is the middling one, and that skull in which this rod would pass from one ear to the heart directly is the best of all. He then handed over the best skull to the Rakshasa. The Rakshasa bowed and hung his head in shame and left the darbar. The Pandit was, of course, honored by the Raja with rich presents of gold and cows. The moral of the story is that those who hear religious instructions through one ear and allow them to pass through another ear without further thinking and practice of those valuable instructions are worthless people like the worst skull. Those who hear the instructions through one ear and talk on these subjects at least occasionally are the middling class like the middling skull. But those who hear the instructions through one ear and allow them to pass deeply into their very hearts and practice them in right earnest are the best class of people like the best skull. Coming again to my point, mere reading and talking on the subject of success in life and God realization will not do. You will have to put into practice immediately whatever you have learnt from this book and become an exalted yogi or a jnani. This is my fervent prayer. 27. Bilva Mangal and Chintamani. Chintamani, the dancing girl, advised Bilva Mangal, who was later known as Surdas. "O Bilva Mangal, you are mad after this nasty body of mine full of all sorts of impurities. This is the day of your father's death. You have come to me at the dead of night by crossing the river. Your whole body is stinking now. You have crossed the river by taking hold of a female corpse. The dead body that was floating in the river would have attracted several young men an hour ago when there was a little gloss in the skin and a little puffing in the cheeks. It is all flesh, bone, and fat. Had you directed your mind Godwards, the fountain source for this beauty, the beauty of beauties, the embodiment of undecaying beauty, you would have become a great saint and attained everlasting peace and bliss. What a fool you are!" This chiding and admonition opened the eyes of Bilvamangal. The illusion set up by avidya immediately disappeared. He directed his mind towards Sri Krishna and became a great saint. Will you also become a Surdas, my dear Prema? The chance is thrown open to you as well. Krishna is now waiting at Brindavan with outstretched arms to welcome and embrace you. Do not lose this golden opportunity. Get, now or never, intense and burning vairagya. If you always remember the dead body of a woman, her skeleton and the parts of which it is composed, flesh, bone, blood, urine, and feces, if you place before your mind the image of an old woman with wrinkled skin and rotten teeth, or the image of a sickly woman who has mere skin and bone with a ghastly look, I assure you that vairagya will dawn in you now at once. That is the most powerful way. 28. Conclusion. So, my dear divine children, you now know how to approach a guru, what our guru preaches, and how he teaches us. One should adore his or her guru, as he only can dry up the ocean of samsara and enable one to acquire essential wealth of self. Serve the guru with heart and soul. Love the guru without any expectations. Give at least some little charity out of your income. Meditate on the lotus feet of the guru. You will realize in this very birth. Swamiji says this is the secret of sadhana. Do not try to test the guru. Hear the wise words of great souls and follow them, children. Have shraddha in the scriptures and in the words of guru. The highest sadhana is to serve guru. Shravana is hearing of the shrutis by sitting at the holy feet of Satguru. Stick to one guru at all times. Spiritual preceptor takes a devotee under his intelligent and loving care and gradually carries him through the various spiritual evolutions. Even Vedas will fail to sing the glory of Guru, who is the torchbearer of wisdom. However intelligent the seeker may be, it is not possible for him to grasp the depth of Vedanta and to practice it without the aid of the Guru or a spiritual preceptor. Only a Guru can awaken the divine potentialities of the disciples. You have to surrender yourself completely to your Guru. He can then transform the disciple by a look, a touch, or a thought, or a word. Disciple must endure all tests by Guru and be grateful to him for guiding and leading him nicely. If a disciple turns ungrateful, he will be miserable on earth. His lot is pitiable, lamentable, and deplorable indeed. In the Bhagavata, the story is told of an Avadhuta who had 24 Upagurus, which are the five elements, the sun, the moon, the sea, animals, etc., which, though insignificant, taught him each in its own way the supreme knowledge. Humanity of the modern age is dominated by the so called atheists who have no belief in God's existence or the nature's wonderful powers. Ceaseless high tension activity prevails in the daily life of the average man. Money only matters. In order to pull out a sinking man from the mire of Ajnana, the Bhagavad Gita and Yoga Sutras have been prescribed as the greatest scriptures to be studied and translated into practice. The Gita ideal is most eminently suited to the present age. Sadhana should no more imply a divorce or severance from normal life. It should mean shifting of one's angle of vision. Its claim over the modern man is that it strikes the golden mean between the entirely abstract speculations of a mere theorist and the overdone matter of fact attitude and hard headedness of the worldly minded materialist, and transforms both. Then they live and work for the welfare of all humanity, carrying on the divine plan and fulfilling its glorious works. Shraddha overcomes all vices and implants virtue, thus making one's entire life a spontaneous expression of the supreme power. Troubles and difficulties come to you to intensify your faith and to turn your mind more towards God. Pain is the greatest eye opener. It is your teacher. Kunti once prayed, O Krishna, always give me pain so that I may ever remember you. The more adversities you get, the stronger and firmer will become your faith in God. God knows what is best for you. Even some vicious persons are thriving well because of their past karma phala. Swamiji says, therefore, do not pray to the Lord for the removal of sufferings. Pray to Him for granting you power of endurance and patience to bear the calamity. A devotee alone gets many troubles because God does not want his devotee to have any more births. Whatever sufferings he had to have on account of past karma should be undergone in this very birth. This world is full of misery, sorrow, pain, and suffering. We must try to attain paripurna to melt away all sorrows and diseases. God does not work with any instruments. He simply wills the world comes into being. His will is omnipotent. He is ever blissful. A jiva is bound by karmas because he expects fruits. God is far for those who have no discrimination, no dispassion, and who are not endowed with the subtler qualities. He is near to those who are endowed with the divine qualities. He is all-pervading like ether. So children, let us attain this most subtle vastu near to us, nearer than our own breath. He is hidden by the veil of ignorance which assumes various forms of lust, greed, and hatred. So let us remove this veil through bhakti and meditation. Let us adore God with our unflinching devotion, so much so that He has to assume for us a holy form according to our desire, as He did in the case of His various devotees. 9 out of 10 people are immersed in problems they themselves did not know how to solve, thus proving once again that every normal human being is a prey to anxiety, fear, and worry. Yes, how can we help being anxious when we are in danger of losing a job or when we love someone who does not love or care for us? When illness descends or we face an insecure old age? The struggle with our environment is a part of our heritage of being human, but we can learn to put it to our own good use. Morally, we grow as we struggle. Our own fears will teach us to be bold. By keeping trust in God, living in our anxieties, we can all learn some kind of wisdom that will lessen the burden. Do not despair and imagine all sorts of horrible contingencies. What we have to remember is that what troubles us today? We must pray to God to relieve us from these materialistic problems. Some of the most capable men of eminence also have lost this sense of perspective and have been driven by their anxieties to act in ruinous ways to destroy them. We must train ourselves to face troubles. We cannot fly away from them. Unfortunately, spiritual advancement has not kept pace with the modern tendency of the more easily acquired notions of the day. There does not seem to be any way out to pass into bright daylight from the darkness of sorrow and misery. Selfishness, greed, egoism, and hatred are eating up the man. Swami Shivananda has come to us only to drive away the evil in us and to make us perfect children of the soil by teaching us sacred acts with his cosmic understanding heart. He wants us to achieve peace for all time without any distinction. Man, according to saints, has to elevate himself. We need courage to tackle the problems and difficulties of our lives. The only adequate way is the prayer. Let us all say, O God, strengthen me. How comforted we all become. We can meet our problems bravely and wisely and calmly when we leave everything to God and do only our duty. Thus, we make our lives easier and add our bit to the sum of human dignity. Even the so called atheists look for some super unknown help, which we call God, in their own way when they are in distress, suffering, and old age. Why does man look for a God? Every nation, every state, and every society wants him because that unconscious idea or belief is within him. It was his own heartbeat, and he did not know. He was mistaking it for something external. It is the God within himself that is propelling him to seek him and realize him. That is his own nature. These are mysteries hidden behind the clouds of ignorance. Nature is like that screen which is hiding the reality beyond. Every good thought and act of ours is simply tearing the veil, making it thinner and thinner, till the truth behind manifests itself more and more. This, as the saints say, is the whole history of man. It cannot be known. In vain we try to know it. Is there any limit to what we want in this world? Scientists of today have succeeded in reaching the moon. The satellite with the dog in it has been sent, and the next step will be for the man to reach. Do you think he is satisfied, children? He will attempt on getting to the sun. He does not realize it is vast and unlimited, and the way is long. He has to struggle very hard. There is no end to these discoveries. The man tries to achieve and conquer in his researches with patience. It is good to be patient and persistent, but children, by conquering these, has he solved all problems? Beyond this world, there is something which is very real. Let him know that. Right path is hard to find. Let him first understand that the whole universal existence is God. In him we are all one. Do not make any distinctions. Do not have Brahman, Kshatriya, and Shudra feeling. Greet and welcome all alike. We must all learn to kneel and pray side by side. Let us all be tolerant towards all religions. Have no objection to eat with a Mohammedan brother or an American sister. The spiritual idea must be divine, with the idea of unity. Have a broad outlook. The heaven that ever existed is open for one and all. Let us all pray together jointly to the great ones of the past, the present, and to all that are to come in future. Unless one becomes like a child, one cannot have a vision of the truth. It is a child that bubbles with joy, drinks in the beauty of God's creation, receives and radiates unalloyed bliss. It is a child that is stainless, pure, free from conceit, guile, and selfishness. It is full of love. It can share its joy with all. Its eyes will be filled with tears if it listens to a tale of sorrow. A child is indeed God's greatest gift to man. These are the virtues we find in our Swamiji. He is the child of the children. He gives the simplest yet most learned answers. He who through the likeness of the self sees equality everywhere, be it pleasure or pain, he alone is regarded as the highest yogi. You can see from this that our beloved Swamiji is a living example of the teachings of Gita and the Upanishads. He is always closely attentive to the Leelas or the plays of the divine Parashakti. He is a witness to all Maya. How can he be other than humorous in his talk? Yet, all his talk is edifying and educative. Swamiji looks upon life as an eternal comedy in which the different vrittis appear in captivating costumes and play their roles to perfection. Service, service, service is the very life of Swamiji. Once he said, I do not care for even Nirvikalpa Samadhi. I am prepared to be reborn if I am born to serve the humanity. He continued, Service has elevated me. Swamiji wants us to know that we should do service without any expectation. He often tells, if you give charity, it is not merely helping the needy and the deserving poor. You should give charity to purify yourselves. All his service is of such nature. Swamiji describes himself as the richest man in the world. My heart is full, he says. I lack nothing. He who does not have joy in his heart is conscious of a want. He is poor, however great his possessions are. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath riches. There is no joy above the joy of the heart. Proverbs 13th 7. All these qualities are found in the Swamiji. He is in that sense the richest man in the whole world. The eternal truth of the Gita in Shloka 38 teaches us to treat praise or blame, pleasure or pain, victory or defeat, all alike. Lord Krishna says in the Gita, If you are unable to do even this, take refuge in my service by renouncing all actions and doing everything for the sake of me, by reading scriptures, building temples, offering flowers and fruits, and burning incense. You will reach me. Let us all do our actions as mere offerings to the Lord, do our best and leave everything to Him. The great Shankaracharya says in his Dwadasha Panjarika Stotra Shlokas, O fool, give up the desire for wealth, be discriminative and cultivate dispassion in thy mind. Be contented with what little wealth thou earnest by thine own efforts. Know ever that wealth is the root cause of all evil. In truth, there is not the least trace of happiness in it. To the rich there is fear even from their sons. This is usual state of affairs everywhere. Who is thy wife? Who thy son? The world is extremely wonderful. Who art thou? And whose? Whence hast thou come? O brother, think on such subjects as these. Do not boast of thy men and wealth or youth. The all-devouring time takes all these away in a trice. Having renounced all these unreal things, realize Brahman and get merged in it. Shankaracharya tells us in his Hari Sharanashtakam, 6th shloka. Misery due to old age and birth and various diseases, due to being born as cow, dog, and swine, and finally being thrown into hell, all this is the result of forgetting the Lord in this world. Therefore, O wielder of the conch, meaning God, I take refuge in thee. The reader will note the remarkable similarities between the ancient rishis of the past and Sivananda Swamis about the lofty sublime teachings and spiritual mode of uplift in the Vedantic marg. India, which is always considered as the ideal source for true knowledge, philosophy, and religion by the West, serves as a bridge between nation and nation. Universal peace, universal brotherhood, self-realization are the basic aims of every nation in the world. They look upon our glorious motherland, India, as the important, ethical, purifying spiritual center. Let us all follow the glorious example of Swami Sivananda. Let us try to achieve cultural and spiritual unity by following this monk's instructions. United, concentrated efforts by everyone by peaceful methods alone can bring about international understanding and goodwill. So, my spiritual divine children, remember always, Prayer is an indispensable necessity. Prayer grinds the flint of egoism, breaks the wall of pride, and consumes the fire of selfishness. Prayer elevates to divinity. By prayer, you dwell in the Lord. Children of divinity, empty your hearts, and God will fill it, and you shall be all full with peace and delight. Would you not like to make your life a life of prayer and be supremely blessed? I thank you, my children of joy, for giving me a patient hearing. I am sure you will be benefited by our Gurudev Swami Shivananda's teachings. Although this age of Kali Yuga is supposed to be full of vices, it has one great virtue also, and that is, by mere chanting of the divine name, one can obtain the reward from Hari. In Satya Yuga, Dwapara, and Treta Yuga, the rishis had to perform great sacrifices, tapasya, to obtain release from bondage to realize God. He who knows this and models his life accordingly will no more grovel in darkness. Let us not lose this chance. I solemnly declare again and again that a person constantly remembering God in whatever name or form will never come to grief. Come, arise now and pray. Let us all bow down to his holy divine feet and pray the Almighty to grant our beloved Master Swami Shivananda a very long life to inspire and to lead the millions of ignorant people to the light of wisdom. May the blessings of God be upon us all. Glory to our ancient scriptures. Glory to our saints and glory to Swami Shivananda.